what's up? It's Kachika and welcome to Underrated Anime That You Should Check Out. If you liked the video, click that like button and do subscribe for more. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple came out way back in 2006, and it centers around a boy that overcomes supremacy from a high school ranking member of the school's karate club by learning basic training from 5 ridiculously strong martial art masters. Kenichi tried to join that club so that he can become stronger and he can protect his friends from delinquents in the town, but the most high-ranking member in the karate club thought he was too weak and could not stand a chance in the karate club and tried to prove a point by beating down his spirit. The new student called Miu that showed up out of nowhere helps Kenichi and offers free training from her dojo masters, which consisted of her uncles and close family members. And as Kenichi trains, he gains new enemies from the delinquent gangs that try to prove who is the strongest of them all as well. So watch this anime if you're really into shonen, comedy, or martial arts. Unlike the majority of shonen protagonists, I believe this protagonist was not blessed with any talent at all, because it took him time for him to be able to be, hella strong and really fast. And as well, that what makes him different is that he doesn't automatically acquire that power. He works for it, and this anime really emphasizes that you really gotta work for something to get it. It's not just easy peasy, and it's somewhat realistic in that aspect. What is common with every other shonen anime is that he has a motivation to protect other people. He has this weird drive where he puts himself before other people as well. If you're into adventure and fantasy, Magi is the anime for you. It came out back in 2012 and it sort of has a Disney vibe to it. Check this. Around this world, there are several dungeons that are said to be work of a Magi. A Magi is a very rare class of magicians that help to build empires and guides them to these dungeons in order to have wealth and prosperity, as well as they pick kings to rule those empires. But instead of this working in that systematic way, kings become corrupt and they oppress the people and take all the goals for themselves. I mean, that was sort of expected. And basically, there was this Magi who lost all his memories, and he is somewhat supposed to be a reincarnation of a great king from 100 or something years ago. So basically, after he comes to this world and he meets Alibaba is a very poor child that is a slave to one of the lords in a certain land there. And the main character, which is Magi, is called Aladdin, and this is why back then I said this gives you Disney vibes, because as the actual movie Aladdin, it is centered around a desert. There are flying carpets, there are genies, and in the anime there are flying carpets, genies, and it is also based in the desert as well. So it gives you those Disney vibes all constantly. But don't worry, it has better magic, better storylines in the Disney, and it is not centered around love. What I like about this anime that it relates with some problems that we have in our world today, such as poverty, corruption within government, people dying based on which ethnicity they're from, race, everything. So this anime really deals with certain issues like that, and it really shows the negative impacts that it has on that world, which reflects with our world as well. Another fantasy with a mix of sci-fi comes to us with the name of Children of the Whales. It is based on people, around 156 people that live on a mud whale. A mud whale is an island that moves itself around the ocean sand, but this mud whale cannot move at all, and it is discovered when the main character, who is a secretary recorder who records backstories, history on what happens to the mud whale for future generations. One day they are invaded by another ship of mud whale, and this mud whale they discover is very different. It starts killing their own people, and they do not understand why. And it was a traumatic time for them, to the point where it really took me by surprise, because it is a Netflix anime and it really delivered. Netflix isn't that bad, people. We all know Netflix doesn't really deliver in terms of anime, but in this case it did. It really did. I could name so much anime that Netflix ruined, but this anime really takes the cup in the sense of that best Netflix anime I've ever seen. That really, I mean, there was Seven Deadly Sins, but Seven Deadly Sins eventually moved over to another production studio. But this anime is still on Netflix, and it is promising another season 2. Apparently, maybe it might be pushed back to 2021 due to the coronavirus outbreak. But I am really looking forward to season 2. So if you're really into sci-fi, you're really also into fantasy, this is an anime for you, and it is quite the tearjerker, hey? So watch out. The main character in this anime is really inspired to explore the world and to see the world beyond the mud whale. And he takes that opportunity when the mysterious girl lands on their island and is questioned, but joins along a party that decides to kidnap her to be able to see what lies between the outside world of the mud whale. So this is a very interesting side. The main protagonist is quite an interesting character indeed. He is somewhat of a norm in that he's not cliche and he's not too unique. He's just in the middle.